It's going to be 30 cubic feet, so although one layer comes off, there will be another layer of skin. And eventually, every single layer of skin, when it comes off, Allah will put a new layer of skin on them just to make sure that they can, feel that pain as well. Because if their bodies get to the muscle, they won't feel as much pain as they would with the skin. And their bodies are going to be very large. Why? Just so every single part of their body can feel the pain as well. Right? So Allah will, not only will He create the environment of pain and suffering, but also the bodies will be made in a way that they experience that pain and suffering to the highest manner. And their food will be dry thorns. That's the only thing they have to eat. If they want something, there's going to be the food over there, dry thorns. And as they eat it, of course, it's going to get stuck in their throat. It's going to pierce everything that they have within their throats all the way into their stomachs as well. The clothes that Allah will give them in there will be made of fire and molten copper. You can only imagine how painful that will be to be constantly wearing that for your eternity. And their faces will constantly be dried across its fire. Right, across the fire, just to show how, just to show the humiliation. And this is just a general person. This is just for the general person who is in Jahannam. If a person has certain deeds, certain sins, then they will be worse. For example, some people, their intestines will come out. And they will go around, back in the days they had those donkeys and they would, go around to make water and, water mill and flour mills and those type of things. It was basically power for them. So a person's intestines will be tied to that and they will be forced to go around like that. So different punishments for different type of sins, right? And we won't go into them specifically, but this, what we just covered right now, is just for the general person. An average person who's in Jahannam, this is what he's going to have to go through. Now, when it comes to paradise, right? So, when it comes to paradise, we see that the people of paradise, they will know their homes in paradise better than they know their homes here. Right? Over here, we can be blindfolded. We can open the door, be blindfolded, and make our way to the bathroom, make our way to our bedroom, wherever we want to go, kitchen. We know which cupboard has what. But the Prophet says that our homes in paradise will know them better than even our own homes. And the scholars, they mentioned that the reason for that is because our souls were made for paradise. Right? Our souls were not made for this world. Our souls were made for paradise. So once our soul goes there, we'll know exactly where it is. And of course, when it comes to our homes, our mansions, they're going to be mansions. Every single person will have something big. The smallest level of paradise is minimum 10 times worth the world and what it contains. That is the smallest, the most minimum level a person can have in Jannah. 10 times worth of this world and what it contains. And what's the highest? We can only imagine. We can only imagine what type of Jannah the Sahaba would have. We can only imagine what type of Jannah the pious people will have. Right? And of course, this is why when we ask for Jannah, Allahumma min as'aluka al-firdaus. Always ask for Jannatul Firdaus. Firdaus is the highest level. So when we make dua for Jannah, don't aim low. Always ask for the best. And of course, work your way towards there as well. Right? So the mansions over there, they'll be built with bricks of gold and silver. There will be no ill feelings whatsoever between the people. If a person has some bad habits, all of that will be gone. If you have some sort of enmity between another person, you're there, you see him, you forget all about it. No harsh feelings whatsoever. Paradise will have things which resemble things of this world. Right? For example, you'll see apples there. You'll see oranges there. You'll see trees there. But the quality of those things will be incomparable. Right? You take a bite of an apple, it's going to taste like something you've never had before. Right? You look at a tree, and there's going to be trees, for example, which are not only giving different types of fruits, but trees that actually even give out, clothes. So there's going to be all these different things going on. People will have their abilities themselves will be enhanced. The hadith comes that every single person will have the strength of 100 men. Right? So all those abilities that come with that will be there as well. And at the end of the day, the more good we do, the more houses and the more, you can say, real estate we have in Jannah, right? And just to mention two ways a person can have lots of houses in Jannah, right? Number one is by donating to the masjid, by building a masjid, taking part in the masjid. The hadith says that man bana Allah masjid, bana Allah lahu baytan fil Jannah. Whosoever helps in making a masjid for Allah, Allah will build a house for him in paradise. And number two is to every single day pray 12 rak'ah of sunnah. There are 12 rak'ahs of sunnah within the day, 2 before Fajr, 4 before Dhuhr, 2 after Dhuhr, 2 after Maghrib, and 2 after Isha. This is 12 rakahs. If a person has a habit of praying this every single day, Allah will build a house for him and every single day. There's no limit of how you can only have this many houses, this many gardens, this many trees. You can increase your Jannah as much as you want, and this is what this world is for, is to make sure we build our Jannah to the best of our abilities. Right? There's going to be rivers of water, of milk, of honey and wine under every single house, right? And when it comes to the wine, it won't be like the wine of this world, because the wine of this world has many side effects, right? It causes impaired vision. It can cause things such as memory loss. It can, of course, it gives headaches, hangovers, and all those things that we know about it. But the wine and the alcohol of the hereafter will be nothing compared to that. It will be sweet and won't have any side effects as such. And every single person in Jannah will have access to a place called Al-Kawthar, which is the river of the Prophet ﷺ. And that is where a person can go to this river whenever he wants. He can go there, and the Prophet ﷺ will be there, and the Prophet ﷺ will give every single person a cup of water from their own, from his own hands. And these people will have servants at all times, right? You won't have to do any physical labor whatsoever. And when it comes to food coming to you, when it comes to getting dressed, there will be servants for all that stuff, right? You don't have to do anything whatsoever. Even so much so to the effect that you want something. There's gonna be birds and stuff in Jannah as well. There's gonna be animals. You want it, you point towards it. That dish will come right in front of you, right? Cooked, prepared, however you want it, whatever spices you like, that itself will be cooked right in front of you, barbecued, however it is, and it's gonna be that easy. You think of something, Allah gives it to you. Right? And when it comes to the digestion, it's going to occur through sweating and burping, of course, without any smell. There's no concept of using the washroom. And even when it comes to eating and drinking, you won't eat and drink because you have to, right? Or you need to. Right? In this world, we have to do it, right? Whether it's good food or not, we got to do it. But in Jannah, all of these things will be done solely for the sake of pleasure. Only because we can, only because we enjoy it, right? So that's there. As we talked about, the clothes will grow on trees as well, and the smallest level paradise, we said 10 times of this world and what it contains. And and also another point is that what if there's a couple, right? Husband and wife, for example. And this person, one of the people is actually in a higher level than the other. What's going to happen? Will Allah, put them on different levels because they did different deeds? So we see the Prophet mentions that no, whoever is in the higher level, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will actually unite them so they can be together in paradise as well. Right? So again, this is all because of the mercy of Allah. Allah loves us to that extent that He not only is He willing to give us all this in paradise, but for what? Just to live a life of obeying Him. To live a life of without, by following His commands, staying away from those things He stopped us from, but in general, living a life according to how He wants. We will live that life according to how He wants for whatever amount of years we have, left. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in turn gives us what? Eternity of paradise. So inshallah, we'll stop over here. And I hope that, this seminar, small little talk we had right now, really gets us to understand not only what the afterlife is, but motivates us to work harder for it, inshallah.